YouTube, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy, man. We're back with another banger. Today, man, I've been hearing about these two streamers or content creators who've been beefing online. And supposedly one of them, I guess in Vegas, they saw each other and one of them shot the other one. I'm not sure how serious their beef was. I never know people was beefing like that as streamers. And it got deadly, but we're gonna watch it. The title of this video is called "YouTuber Murdered Rival Creator on Live Stream." Oh, on live stream over copyright. So I guess it's about copyright stuff, but let's do it. If you're new to the channel, like, comment, subscribe. Let's get it.
Feud between two YouTubers turned deadly. Las Vegas police announcing the arrest of Manuel Ruiz, accusing him of killing his online rival and the man's wife. A live stream capturing the moment when gunshots rang out, sending tourists scrambling on the strip. Police
Hold on. You shot him and his wife? Did they both die?
releasing new details as questions swirl about what led up to the violence. I'm Kennedy Walker, and I'll walk you through the details. You're watching Law and Crime. Footage circulating online appears to show YouTuber Rodney Finley, known to followers as Finny the Legend, spending his final moments with his wife before both were gunned down in Las Vegas Sunday night.
The officers immediately ran towards that gunfire, and they found two victims who were laying on the sidewalk, suffering from apparent gunshot wounds.
Nah, it's not even that serious, gang. It's not even that serious. You did as risking your life, your freedom, to prove something, bro. It's wild.
The shooting, happening live on a stream, unfolded on the Las Vegas Strip near the Bellagio Hotel. Police identifying the victims as Rodney Finley and his wife, Tanisha Finley.
Our officers rendered medical aid to both victims, but their efforts to save those victims' lives were unsuccessful.
Undersheriff Andrew Walsh confirming the pair knew the suspect. Police later identifying him as Manuel Ruiz.
The suspect and the victim had previously engaged in some type of conflict using a variety of social media platforms.
As I went through my timeline, I realized that, I was sexualized, I think 5 years old, and I started to experiment with
Finley and Ruiz reportedly had an ongoing virtual brawl, trading verbal jabs, hosting heated live streams, and calling each other out across platforms. Both men building followings on YouTube, fueling an online rivalry that reportedly stemmed from a copyright issue and other personal tensions. Ruiz, known online as Sin City.
I don't understand why niggas can't just box, bro. Just box. Like, if y'all really beefing, this box. I don't understand why. And now you can't even stream. You can't even do YouTube because now you in jail, bro. Shit is wild, man. All you gotta do is meet the person up and box. Like,
Manny posting this video, widely believed to be aimed at Finley.
Went through every casino there is. I heard there's one of my biggest fans here in town. I'm dying to see him.
After the shooting, Ruiz allegedly left the scene, ditching his shirt, hat, and the gun before hopping into a rideshare, according to an arrest report obtained by KLAS. Investigators say he later surrendered to police, claiming self-defense. Ruiz reportedly told investigators he believed the Finleys were going to shoot him, saying Tanisha Finley was, quote, dancing in his face, and that he saw Rodney Finley reaching for his waistband, which he thought was a weapon.
Good morning, Mr. Ruiz.
Now, Ruiz is facing 2 counts of murder, appearing in court for the first time as the online feud that once played out on the screen could head to trial.
You were arrested for 2 counts of open murder with use of a deadly weapon. The court is applying for probable cause existed for your arrest. You need to hear from the district attorney's office today, and then hear from the public defender.
YouTube streamers were in attendance at Ruiz's hearing. Marquise Wiley telling KLAS the feud between the two content creators was, quote, childish and didn't make any sense. Wiley went on to say that he understands wanting to compete for viewers, but he never thought it would end in violence. And here to break down the story with me is criminal defense attorney Michael Troiano. Michael, thank you so much for coming on today.
absolutely pleasure to be here.
Now, this case seems like a collision between internet drama and real-world tragedy. From a legal perspective, though, how do prosecutors start to piece together intent in a case like this?
The intent seems pretty clear. Although the media does a great job, they don't always get it right. But when you're self-documenting your own online beef, that kind of makes the detective jobs easy for them, right? So it looks like the victims, the gentleman and his girlfriend or wife, as well as the suspect, were in some sort of online YouTube channel beef where for the last year at least they've been commenting on things related to Vegas and I guess more specifically or relevant to this situation, their internal hatred or dislike for each other.
I want to thank Odoo for sponsoring this news package. Odoo is a powerful, all-in-one business software that not always to this level. I mean, we're talking about 2 deaths here, caught on camera.
That's wild.
Could the digital footprint actually end up being the most powerful evidence in court?
There's a ton of evidence in this case, and again, we're not privy to all the information quite yet, but it looks like there's documentation on both the suspect and the deceased YouTube channels documenting the beef, documenting the dislike for each other, as well as the actual shooting itself. I'm sure your viewers have already seen it or will probably be seeing it as part of this clip, but you see them walking by each other in front of the iconic Bellagio fountains right there on the beautiful Las Vegas Strip, and the accused clearly pulls out a firearm, shoots him. You could see the gun, you could see the muzzle go off, and we have 2 deceased individuals.
And he claimed self-defense, the accused, but as we just stated, the live stream seems to...
It seemed like he was on some angry shit before he even like met the dude. I feel like he would just like, that's why he went there intentionally to do, you know what I'm saying? So shit is crazy.
Show, things play out a different way. And it also shows just prior video of his that he may have actually been searching for Mr. Finley. Facts. Prior to this. How might prosecutors use that to challenge his version of events?
Yeah, so the online documented beef, but again, the defense attorney can say those are words going back and forth on each side. There was video, you're correct, that I watched that was about 24 hours, if that, prior to, where he states his intent that he's actively searching him out to see him in person for some sort of confrontation. In regards to him claiming self-defense, I'm not aware, I haven't been able to see any police reports just yet if he actually spoke to police or gave a statement. From a criminal defense standpoint, that would be a pretty foolish thing to do. You want to invoke your right to remain silent, speak to your attorney so you can keep all options open. But at the end of the day, based on what we've seen so far, it seems very likely that's going to be his only avenue of defense, is to say that, hey, this was an ongoing beef, he was throwing words and threats my way, and when I saw him on the strip, it was commotion, maybe argue that he threatened him or tried to pull out some sort of weapon on his own, although there is no evidence at this point that weapons were found on him or this other deceased, the female who happened to be in a relationship with that.
You're not going to believe what happened. Tell me everything. I'll show you on Monday.com. So I started the biggest...
That gentleman.
Yes, and we know that according to reports, their beef seems to stem back to some type of copyright issue and just other issues that they had because they were going back and forth on social media reportedly. Could the alleged copyright issue that they were fighting over play a role in motive, or does that just become background noise legally?
It really depends on the defense and or the prosecution strategy. I mean, depending on how serious or petty it is, on which side of the fence you're on, prosecutor or defense, that may be brought in as a highlight and a point of contention, or it might just be white noise and these two engaged in a silly, immature back and forth. That
now, what would have happened if the dude shot the husband, right, and then the wife shot the dude who shot the husband? Was she went to jail for that? Like, or was that self-defense? I'm trying to... God, I've been hearing stories about all this shit, how people be defending themselves and still go to jail because they defended themselves. So just like, you can't really win when it comes to these situations, man.
Led to the death of 2 individuals.
Right, and it's funny that you use those words, silly and immature, because another YouTuber and streamer spoke to a local station and said that he just found this whole thing to be extremely childish, and now we're dealing with 3 lives essentially gone, 2 that are taken because 2 people are dead, and 1 that will there's a possibility he could spend the rest of his life in jail if he's convicted. If you could just talk about that and just the consequences of this man's actions.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, in Nevada, we still have the death penalty, so there's an option for the Clark County District Attorney's Office to take this to the death penalty review panel and make that decision. And they make that based on several factors of mitigating and aggravating circumstances. Even if they decline to seek the death penalty, you're looking at murder with a deadly weapon. So you've got 20 years at the bottom of the sentence, which you do each and every single day of that 20 years on the bottom of a violent offense, such as a murder in Nevada, per defendant. So there's 40 years on the bottom right then and there if they run them consecutively, and that's not counting the deadly weapon enhancement as well that they can tack on numerous years to that. So that's an additional range of 1 to 20 years. So 28 years to life with parole, life without parole, or the death penalty per defendant. And he's about 41 years old is my understanding, and I'm turning 42 here in a few weeks, and though I hope I have a lot of life to live, I certainly want to be facing the next 20, 30 years, possibly the rest of my life in prison, and it seems like a real possibility based upon that video.
Right, and what exactly would prosecutors have to prove in order to make this a death penalty case?
It's not necessarily proof. They make the determination on their own. So they basically look at, let's talk about mitigating factors. What's his lifestyle? What's his criminal history? Through my research, it looks like his criminal history was fairly minimal. It looks like there was a DUI or 2 back in California several years ago. So non-violent criminal history to the best of my knowledge. Standing in the community. He's gainfully employed, assuming he was making money from his YouTube channel. This wasn't a racial or hate crime as far as we could tell at this point. That would be an aggravating factor if they were targeting them based upon their sexual orientation, race, other factors of that nature. So if I had to bet on it, I would say that they're probably not going to take this to the death penalty, or they're going to take it to the death penalty panel, They will review it, but I believe the ultimate determination will be not to seek the death penalty, but he will still be facing the rest of his life in prison without a doubt.
Damn, it's wild, bro. Let me know what you guys think is gonna happen, man. It's sad that the wife was there too and she got killed. So it's like, you never know when your last day on earth gonna be, man. Chilling in Vegas, then literally you meet your op and you get killed, bro. Shit is wild, but hey, man, if you're new, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We gone, man.